Welcome back to Your School News. I'm Milo Kenny.
And I'm Johanna Carey. Now let's get right to the news. Today's top headlines include NHCS hires new Chief Communications Officer, the school district responds to the first confirmed case of the coronavirus in North Carolina, and schools gear up for the best foot forward. We begin with breaking news. New Hanover County schools and all of North Carolinians were recently informed of the first confirmed case of the coronavirus in the state. In a press release issued by Officer of Governor Roy Cooper, we have learned that the patient is in Wake County. It is an important reminder that this is an isolated case, and COVID-19 is currently not widespread in North Carolina. New Hanover County Schools is taking all precautionary and safety measures to keep our students and staff healthy. The district is coordinating with the New Hanover County Public Health Department and will be following the directions and precautions laid out by NHC Public Health Department. We encourage and recommend all of the families to take the same precautions. Those include wash hands frequently with soap and water and for at least 20 seconds each time. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with people who are ill. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you sneeze or cough. Do not reuse tissues after coughing, sneezing, or blowing your nose. Clean and disinfect surfaces that are not frequently touched. In addition, the district will be reviewing abstinence policies and procedures for students and faculty with all employees. NHCS encourages staff and students who are sick to avoid attending school and work. One must be fever-free for 24 hours prior to returning back to school. NHCS will continue to thoroughly sanitize classrooms and common areas. In other news, New Hanover County Schools has selected its next Chief Communications Officer, Ann Gibson. Gibson has been a resident of the Cape Fear region since 2016 and has worked as a freelance writer in Wilmington, North Carolina since relocating from Harrisburg, NC. Ms. Gibson is a graduate of the University of Maryland, College Park, where she received a Bachelor's of Arts in Individual Studies, part media production. After earning her degree, Gibson remained in the District of Columbia and Maryland area working for Warren Publishing, Johns Hopkins University, and Discovery Communication. In 2006, she relocated to Charlotte, North Carolina, where she worked in a range of public relations and marketing positions. Gibson served as the Director of Communications and Marketing for the City of Kannapolis and the Director of Communications for the town of Harrisburg, North Carolina. Interim Superintendent Dr. Dell Burns says, quote, Ms. Gibson brings innovative expertise in marketing and communication to New Hanover County Schools. She has spent years establishing effective communication strategies, optimizing content across marketing platforms, and directing successful social media campaigns. We look forward to her knowledge and proficiency as the district looks to improve its communication and transparency within and among the Wilmington community. Ann Gibson's first day with New Hanover County Schools will be Monday, March 9th.
New Hanover County Schools will present the 31st Annual Best Foot Forward Show on Friday, March 13th at the Wilson Center, located on campus of Cape Fear Community College. Best Foot Forward will feature the brightest and most talented students from several schools, showcasing the district's arts education curriculum through music, dance, visual art, and drama. Here's a sneak peek at the rehearsals. This year, the BFF Art Show will be at the Wilma Daniels Gallery across the street from the Wilson Center and will be on display for a few weeks. This show contains 58 pieces across the country which were entered into the Superintendent's Choice Art Competition. There will be an opening reception on Friday night prior to the Best Forward performance at 5:30 p.m. and Wilson Center will host a Wilmington 4th Friday Gallery Walk reception in March as well.
Last week was National School Breakfast Week. Here are some photos from the week. It's a special time of celebration designated to bring positive attention to the school breakfast program and the impact it has on our school community. Research demonstrates that school breakfast consumption boosts students' academic performance, grades, and test scores, increases concentration, alertness, comprehension, and memory, improves classroom behavior, reduces absences and tardiness. School breakfast participation is also linked to a lower body mass index, lower probability of being overweight or obese, and improved diet quality.
Now, let's check in and get an update from the news team over at NASA for the latest science and space news with this special feature report.
A new name for our next Mars rover, a new space station resupply mission, and how you can join the Artemis generation. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. From a nationwide naming contest that saw more than 28,000 student essay entries, the new name for our next Mars rover is Perseverance! The new name for the rover formerly known as Mars 2020 was announced during a live event on March 5th from the Fairfax County, Virginia school of the student who submitted the winning entry.
If rovers are to be the qualities of us as a race, we missed the most important thing: perseverance. We are a species of explorers, and we will meet many setbacks on the way to Mars. We, not as a nation, but as humans, will not give up. The human race will always persevere into the future.
The rover recently arrived at our Kennedy Space Center in Florida, ahead of its launch to the Red Planet this summer.
And liftoff.
On March 6th, a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida, packed with supplies and payloads for the crew aboard the International Space Station. The cargo delivery includes critical materials for science and research investigations on the station. We're now accepting applications for our next group of Artemis generation astronaut candidates. But even if you can't be an astronaut, we can still use your support. We invite you to join the Artemis effort by printing your very own Artemis Generation Certificate at go.nasa.gov/joinartemis. It is our way of taking you with us on humanity's greatest journey to explore our universe. While making observations off the edge of asteroid Bennu, a student-built spectrometer on board our OSIRIS-REx spacecraft unexpectedly detected X-ray activity 30,000 light-years in the distance. It turned out to be a newly flaring black hole that was discovered a week earlier by a telescope on the International Space Station. The glimpse of the X-ray event by OSIRIS-REx marks the first time such an outburst has been detected from interplanetary space. A team from our Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California was a first-place winner in a recent challenge to use cutting-edge technology to enable robots to autonomously navigate extreme underground environments. We could one day use robots with this technology to map out caves on the Moon or Mars in preparation for the arrival of human explorers. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan.
Don't go away, we'll be right back. Your School News continues on Spectrum Cable Channel 5 and online with Apple TV and Roku. Also, make sure to look for our red and blue logo for all the latest news in high definition on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Welcome back to Your School News. I'm Johanna Carey.
And I'm Milo Kenny.
There's a lot going on Twitter these days, and with our NHCS chat hashtag, you can join the conversation too. Right now, it's time for our What's Tweeting segment and all the latest NHCS news and photos that are creating a buzz on Twitter.
Second graders at Alderman Elementary ended Black History Month right by hosting a wax museum. The students dressed as iconic African Americans and some even played the roles. One student could be seen holding up a magazine with Michelle Obama, while another student was dressed like POTUS 44, Barack Obama, while being flooded with phone calls. Thank you to every school that participated in Black History Month and helped provide fun activities and sorts to educate others on African American history.
Congrats to students and staff members that are currently enrolled in CT Health Science programs/classes. Students and staff in the CTE Health Science programs at Hoggard, Laney, and Ashley have recently been gifted with hospital beds from New Hanover Regional Medical Center. New Hanover Regional Medical Center will speak more about the amazing partnership with NHCS on March 3rd at the Board of Education meeting.
In the month of March, students at Alderman Elementary are spreading and sharing kindness all month long. Kindergarten students in Miss Regis and Miss Beam's class are all about giving and receiving kindness to one another. One student used free choice writing to talk about another classmate. The student said, "I like Essence. We are friends. Essence and me are friends." After sharing the notes with the other students, both students' faces were covered with a big, bright smile. Who knew that something as simple as a note could have such an effect on someone else? Thank you, Soaring Eagles, for showing how important it is to be kind and loving.
Around the nation, March 2nd marks National Dr. Seuss Day, also known as Read Across America Day. The first ever Dr. Seuss Day was held on March 2nd, 1998, and it's still held annually to motivate children to read, as it's known to improve their and school performance. Students in our schools have all celebrated this day, all in a different, unique ways. Students at College Road Early Elementary Center decided to start their celebration off with a classic meal consisting of green eggs and ham, while wearing handmade mega sunglasses. This is your school news on cable and online. Look for our blue logo for all the latest news online at nhcs.net. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And for the latest weather conditions, keep it right here for your exclusive Weather Plus forecast. That's what's on screen when you need it.
Hi, I'm Terry Verts, and I want to talk about floating in space. One of the first things that you need to realize when you get into space is that even though you feel like you're falling, you're not. You can let go and you float. It's not a problem. It's something you really have to train your brain to think about. Another thing that you need to learn when you first get into space is how little force is required to move you. And another cool thing is you could be on the ceiling. It makes it very easy when you're working. You have to do some work done up here. You just go up on the ceiling and get your work done.
Our team of scientists is busy getting their experiment ready for launch. At the same time, NASA is preparing the space scientists who will operate the experiment aboard the International Space Station.
So as astronauts on board the space station, we are the hands and eyes of the researcher. They are telling us how best to do the science, but it's up to us to make sure that science runs correctly.
Astronauts train all over the world, including at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Here, they learn not just how to live in space, but also how to conduct science in microgravity.
So many folks ask, how much training did you do before launching to the space station? And the answer is many years. So we train in a lot of big areas. Number one is systems on board the ISS, robotics, how to do spacewalks, and actually science itself. Now, we don't learn about a lot of the science experiments we're doing until we get up there, but what they are teaching us is scientific techniques.
The techniques astronauts learn range from using tools like pipettes and microscopes in microgravity to operating scientific hardware aboard the space station. For example, we study combustion aboard the station because it behaves differently in microgravity. You wouldn't want fire to get free inside your home in space, though, so we've created special facilities to contain it. If it looks complicated, it's because it is. And it's just one of the pieces of equipment astronauts must master before they go to the space station.
Hi, I'm Tracy Neff, and this is Sharon Ranke, and we're in PDL2 right now, and we're down here at JSC to do the fluids and combustion facility training for the combustion integrated rack and the fluids integrated rack.
So basically, PDL2 is a mock-up of the US lab. Since 2008, we've been coming down and training all of the crew members who will do payloads on the space station. We've been training cosmonauts as well.
How many crew do you think you've trained at this point?
Probably 50, probably over 50 crew members we've trained.
Today, Tracy and Sharon are back at work with a former student, NASA astronaut Mike Fink. This isn't Mike's first rodeo with the station, or this equipment for that matter.
So back in 2008 and 2009, we were aboard the International Space Station when a space shuttle, STS-126, Chris Ferguson and crew, dropped off a whole big bunch of packages. And we carefully and slowly put it all together. But when it was all done, we had a brand new ready, fresh out of the box combustion integration rack. And since then, our friends at Glenn Research Center here at NASA, we've been able to get some fantastic science about how things burn in space. Without gravity, without convection, things burn. And by understanding that better, we're able to make more fuel-efficient engines and things here on planet Earth, helping save our energy.
So you can see it in the video. All the hoses are within the ring, and so they all fit in nicely, so they shouldn't interfere with us.
Sounds great and looks great. Thank you.
Well, a lot had changed in 11 years since he was up there, so he did get most of the information again, and it was a new experiment, so he hadn't seen that either. He did great. He's a quick learner. It's great to work with, very methodical, and good humor, which is always, we like to have fun when we're training.
But the lab camera will be showing,
we have
and
the camera.
I will be like looking, and I'm gonna go slowly, and that would be your chance to say no.
Yes, we are watching you. Yes, and help you whenever we can.
This isn't the last time Tracy and Sharon will work with Mike. When he launches to the station and works on combustion projects in space, they'll watch over his shoulder through a camera broadcasting to Glenn Research Center in Cleveland, Ohio.
Christina, this is Sharon with an answer to your question. So they do want you to go ahead and install the cable tie. Copy all. Thanks for having that down for me. Anytime.
Being able to operate and maintain the space station while conducting crucial research could get overwhelming. Luckily, astronauts have strong support teams on the ground and often develop personal connections to the research.
I was so impressed at the different things we'd be working on, cancer or Parkinson's or even Alzheimer's disease. So as a physician, these meant a lot to me. These personally were very important experiments that we needed to do. But in all honesty, the entire crew, not just myself as the physician, were excited about working on these experiments. You get a little nervous at first as you begin to pipette or even utilize a microscope, which I hadn't used in years. But you quickly learn because you realize how important it is to the science, and the investigators and scientists running you through all these experiments were fantastic and just walked us through every step of the way.
Yeah, just keep us posted, but Drew and I are ready to continue ops. Good working with you guys today, and I'll see you soon.
We got here on a Thursday, and it's currently Sunday. We put in a big day yesterday filling up these wells with gel solution and getting ready for handover at 7:30 a.m. on Monday, ahead of launch on Tuesday afternoon.